Hi, this is Greg Swanson with WarriorMindCoach.com. And if you're a new client watching this, thank you and welcome. If you're a future client watching this, welcome, and you're going to have a head start when we do coach together. What I'd like to do is take a few minutes and go over these 10 mental strength principles to live by. These are the foundations of how I coach, and they're going to assist us as we move forward together in your coaching process. So mental strength principle number one is the cause and effect principle, or as I like to say, the warrior versus the victim. What this principle basically says is that you are responsible for your results, changing the results if you don't like them, or how you respond to them. Now, this is a pretty tough law or principle for many people to embrace. I also call it the warrior versus the victim. You'll know when you're on the victim side when you are justifying, complaining, or blaming about a certain result or about a certain situation. When you're on the warrior side or the cause side, you go, okay, at some level I created this event, I created this result, and now I don't like it and I'm going to change it. And then you take back that power. You also have a choice on how you want to respond. Keep in mind that no person can make you mad and no situation can make you angry. You're always at choice. You are choosing to be angry or you are choosing to be mad based on a particular situation, but it's always at your choice. Those things cannot make you feel those ways. If you continue to live on that side, the victim side, you give away your power. And when you give away your power, you're hopeless to change the event or your feelings. And this is not a way to move forward, at least in my coaching. So what we want to understand is that the more you are on the cause side, the more you're on the warrior side, the more you have control of your life. And that's the essence of my mental strength coaching, warrior mind coaching, is for you to take back the power that you have given away and start to create the life that you want by taking responsibility for your results, changing those results, as well as how you respond to those results. We'll get into this in a lot more detail as we coach together. Principle number two is results versus excuses. What this basically says is you have results or you have excuses. Take away the excuses, all you have is results. And that's what we want to look for in coaching is what are the results and are the results getting you to where you want to be? If you make excuses, you're saying I'm stuck here or I am here because of X, Y, and Z, and basically you're playing on the victim side or the effect side of the previous principle. So we want to make sure we cut away all of the excuses, look at the results non-judgmentally, and go, this is the result I want. Great. This is the result I didn't want. Great. Now what can we do? When we can get back to just looking at the results, and specifically in coaching, because in coaching it's moving from point A to point B, and if you give excuses for where you're stuck, you're never going to get to point B. And so we want to make sure that we eliminate the excuses and just look at the results. Principle number three, perception is projection. This is based in neuro-linguistic programming, and it has many, many layers to it. And again, this one we'll get into more detail as we coach together. But basically this says what you see in the external world is a projection of your internal beliefs, past experiences, meta-programs, and values. And so you can either perceive the external world and people in a positive light, or you can see them in a negative light. If you think that people are mean, you will only see mean people because you will filter out all the nice people that are out there. So we have to understand that as we're looking at an event or as we're looking at a situation, we need to know we are looking at it biasedly through filtered perceptions, which are being projected out onto the external world. So when we say this person is this way, is this way, is this way, perhaps there are some beliefs within you that you are projecting out onto the person, place, or thing, and you're seeing them back, and they are reflecting back to you your perception. Now, this can also be in a positive way. So you can say the world is full of good people, and you will only see good people, which is a great thing. So when we discuss particular situations and there is some discernment and judgment about a person, place, or thing, we'll go into detail about how is this a perception that's based on a projection, or is this a projection based on a perception of an internal limiting belief or an empowering belief. Principle number 4 is responsibility for results. That is, this is not only are you responsible for your results, as we talked about in number 1, but you are responsible for taking action to get those results. Yes, I love the law of attraction, and I do believe that we have this. We have to raise our vibrational energy to attract to us those things that we want, and we have to get off our butts and start taking action. So even if you delegate it to somebody else, it's still your responsibility. So the key is for the more that you can take responsibility of taking the action to produce the results, the more that you're going to be I'm going to use this word in quotes, in control of creating your environment. So not only are you responsible for your results, but you're responsible for taking action on those results. So principle number 5 is turn your excuses into reason. Whether they are excuses that someone put on you, that they said you can't do something, or it's an excuse that you put on yourself that says, I can't do it because I don't know how. I can't do it because I'm too young. I can't do it because I'm too old. Well, what this says is turn that into a reason. Because you said I can't do it, I am going to do it to demonstrate my capabilities. Because I don't have any knowledge in this particular field, I'm going to learn and demonstrate that I can learn something new and I can do something great. And so because I'm young, I'm going to demonstrate that young people can be successful in a career. Because I'm over 65, I'm going to demonstrate that I can restart my life over again. So whatever excuses we come up with on why we feel we can't do something, we want to turn those into a reason. And even if it's a reason that just helps us move forward a little bit, because again, excuses hold us back. And in coaching, we want to keep moving forward a little bit each time. Principle number 6, the mind and body are connected. This one has, again, very deep, multiple facets to it. On the surface level, you can pretty much tell when somebody is angry, and you can pretty much tell when somebody's happy, although that is a projection, that you're projecting that facial expression means happy because that's what you would do. That we'll put that off to the side. But when the mind and body are connected, you can tell by, more importantly, to yourself. If you are thinking a sad thought, your body will reflect that sad thought, and people will be able to pick up on that. And when you start thinking sad thoughts, you're going to move that way. Another level is if you keep having worry thoughts, it does create some sort of a dis-ease within the body that may manifest into some sort of ailment. So when we know the mind and body are connected, all of our thoughts then vibrate into our body and affect them. If you're an athlete and you are getting a little bit nervous about an event, your muscles will tighten. You won't be able to move as fluidly as you'd like. So this is a very interesting principle in that it affects us on every single level, whether it's just the emotional level, the physical level, the mental level, and the spiritual level, because this is kind of also based on the TFAR model. Your thoughts lead to feelings, which leads to actions, which leads to results. So if your thinking is disempowering, you're going to have disempowering feelings, emotions, and you're not going to take action. That's where the body comes in, and you're not going to produce the results that you want. Principle number 7, if you want to understand something, act. This is probably in my top 3 of challenges for clients. We've all have read many, many, many books. We've all seen great documentaries, great movies. We've all listened to wonderful audios on helping us become empowered. But how many of us have actually acted on the entire program? I like to use Think and Grow Rich as an example. It's one of the best selling books of all times, and it gives in there specific action steps to take. Not many people have taken all those action steps. So you could, it's almost like learning how to swim, right? We can read how to swim. We can watch movies on how to swim. We can listen to Michael Phelps on how to swim. But unless we get in the water, we will not know how to swim. And for many people, they're saying, I'm not going to go in the water until I learn how to swim. And so they keep reading and keep reading and keep reading and not taking any action. And this is one of the things with mental strength. I get a lot of emails and text about how can I develop mental strength? How can I, what book should I read? What this? And I go, just act. Just read my blog post. Listen to my podcasts. There's enough free information on my site that if you start taking action, that will develop the mental strength. So if you want to learn and understand mental strength, you have to act. Principle number 8, the response you get is the meaning of your communication. This is a biggie, especially in relationships, whether it's a boss-employee relationship, spouse relationship, or friend relationship. How many times have you been into a discussion, said something, the other person got upset, and you said, that's not what I meant? To them, that's what you meant. That's the only thing that's important. And so it's up to you as the communicator to make sure the recipient of your message clearly understands what you meant. You may have to ask them to repeat back to you. You may have to try it several times. It is not their fault if they don't understand. It's your responsibility for getting the result you want, principle number 1, and it's your responsibility to make sure that your message is clear enough that the other person understands that. This is a very big challenge, like I said, especially in relationships. Once you understand this and embrace this, your life will get a lot easier in the relationship area. But this is a very big principle to live by. Principle number 9, adapt behavioral flexibility. How often have we tried something over and over and over and over and over and over again and still get the same result? And we go, well, this is the way I'm going to do it. And we don't adapt. This is what, we get into routines. Routines are good, but they're also a grave, right? A routine is a grave with, a rut, and it's a grave with both ends knocked out of it. So we have to be able to adapt behavioral flexibility. If somebody's not calling us back, we call them, we send them an email, we write them a note. Remember, taking responsibility for your results. If something isn't working, you try it another way, you try it another way, you do something else, you do something else. We can't stay in the same box and expect to get new results. There was back in the day, Encyclopedia Britannica was the biggest encyclopedia manufacturer out there, and every home had one. Well, with the internet coming on, their board of directors said, hey, we need to get on this internet thing. Well, president, CEO said, nope, it's going to be a dying fad. We don't need to get on there. Well, they didn't have behavioral flexibility, and they are gone. So to adapt behavioral flexibility is important for survival and for moving to your goal. Remember, success isn't a straight line. It's a weaving around. It's maybe 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, a step sideways. And when you can embrace that and embrace the behavioral flexibility that entails, you'll be a lot more at ease with your progress. And so number 10, what I'd like to do is perhaps these rules or these principles that I just went over are true, and perhaps they aren't. But what I'd like to do is ask you some questions here. Who would you be if you acted as if all your results were your responsibility? Who would you be if you acted as if you were 100% responsible for your outcomes? How will your life be different by acting as if you are at cause for all of your effects? How would you act and think if you believed and acted as if you are getting the results you want at this particular time. So keep thinking about these principles. Keep thinking about how your relationship would change if you took full responsibility for your communications. How would you think and act if you acted as if every thought manifested in your physical body? How would you think, talk, and act if you acted as if everything you did was for a bigger reason? So perhaps these principles aren't true, perhaps they are, but how would your life change if you embraced all of them and acted as if they were true? For more information on achieving your full potential, please visit me at www.warriormindcoach.com. Thank you.